when you decided to become a pilot,
Mm-hmm.
you had certain expectations that
Mhm.
this is how it is gonna be. Even I had, everyone does. And now you are one.
Mm-hmm.
So was the expectation same as what reality is right now?
I mean, the expectation.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to India's number one pilot podcast. And we are here back again with episode number. We don't know. We have lost count, to be honest. Okay. And our today's topic is just a discussion between I and Winged Engineer Chintan as pilots. That's all we have just sat for this podcast, and I hope you enjoy this episode.
Yes, we decided, like, rather than giving out information or giving out any things which you should know, we decided that we'll sit for this podcast. It's just a raw conversation between two pilots, what we discuss, and how does our day look like. And in previous months, what all destinations did we go? And this month, what all destinations we are going? And how's the flying being in general? Do we enjoy flying or no? And how do we manage our schedule and all of those things we are just going to discuss, so that you get an insight on what you are going to see in your near future once you become an airline pilot.
Yeah. Just two pilot friends, great friends, having pilot related and the career related discussion and day-to-day related discussion. That's what this is gonna be. So a little bit different format. There will be lesser looking at camera, more of looking at each other in this one. And we really hope that you enjoy this. Thank you for watching, listening, subscribing. Let's go. Yeah.
Yes. So how's your previous month?
Previous
with
month.
flying? Like, how many hours did you do flight hours?
Flight hours, so north of 60.
Yeah. Pretty much close. I did around like 65-ish.
Right. The point is my passport had gone for renewal. So I could not do any internationals.
Okay.
So in internationals, as you know, that we get good block. So guys, block is the flight time because it's longer flights, right? So, but in domestic, the block is shorter. So all 4 sectors last month. But this month I'm on PL. That's why this is my favorite type of beard that I have, because online I cannot wear this kind of beard.
Nice.
This.
when you're flying, you have to be groomed as per company standards and stuff.
And it's like people put faith in that uniform and that profession, so we have to act accordingly. That's what it is. Not that my beard is gonna change the person that I am, but
the perception of the people.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm the same sincere person that that's
I think we are in sync, because I also had given my passport for visa and stuff.
Right.
So until April 20th, that was the case. And then I didn't even know that I would be going on an international flight and stuff. So I just got a call. It's like, okay, this is the flight assigned to you on so and so time. Would you like to do it? I'm like, yes, why not? So so they pulled me out for a flight to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so it's around 3.5 to 4 hours flight. I was going there for the first time.
Right.
So whenever we go to a new airport, we have to study that airport, their approach procedures, and en route, what all different things are there Because once we, let's say if we are flying from Mumbai to Delhi, okay, once we do that route, we have a rough idea of like the route and the approach and the runway news and everything. Will they be giving the star speeds or the speed
The
restrictions
expected
and
taxi
yes and
route after
everything.
landing, vacation, and all of those things.
Yes. So if you're going there for the first time, you have to study.
Yeah.
Yes, and it doesn't take more than like 15-20 minutes. You just do it, or else you while cruising in your flight. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's how you prepare.
Absolutely.
That's how I prepared for the flight, and then going there, I thought it would be very hot as the summers are there, and Southeast Asia, the temperatures would be very
That's
high.
an ADTO sector?
Yes, it is an
Okay.
ADTO section.
Right.
So EDTO is extended diversion time operation, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So
We're trying to keep it less technical as much as possible, but when two pilots speak with each other, that's where we end up usually.
yes,
Yeah. So
yes, it's an EDTO and bit of weather and route. So I had to take little deviations to left and right. Apart from that, the weather was good, and then landed there around 9 p.m. local time. Reached the hotel at 9:30, ordered some food, and then just slept off. Next day morning, I planned to wake up and go to the gym for a workout, but then the alarm rang and I was like, I'm still feeling sleepy. So I just slept in for another 2 hours and skipped my workout because I thought, anyways, I'm going to the city center. I'll be walking a lot, so there's no point of doing workout. So just went to the city center. Couple of malls, couple of good places to eat. I had I don't know the falafel place. I don't remember the name.
right.
Just went there. It's a famous falafel place, and I think
In KL.
Yes, in KL.
Okay.
I don't recollect the name, but it was really good. And for you, like I just had the falafel because I had no other option. But for you, I think it would be
the point about Malaysia is it requires the palate to be developed because the oil used in that has a specific different taste. So if you eat that repeatedly, then you do get acquainted to that too. But first time when I had food in KL, the kind of oil that there is a different oil. That's a different oil. I think it is oil derived out of palm or something like that. It has a different taste.
Yes. So city is done. There's nothing much in the city apart from malls and few structures. Mostly the Twin Towers is what it's famous for. So visited that one.
Right.
There's KLCC Park and stuff, and had some good food. And then by evening-ish, like let's say around 4 or 5, head back to the hotel, and 8:30 left for the airport again. So that was half the whole day was spent. So now the city side is explored. Next time I get Malaysia layover or Kuala Lumpur layover, I'll be visiting the nature side, like mostly the caves and stuff, the waterfalls and stuff. That was the international flight for me. And then for domestic, it was all mostly day returns. So
yeah, cool. So my month was all domestic, all Indore, Delhi, then Coimbatore, and all of those flights. Most of them day return, a couple of patterns. One was 3-day pattern and all of that. At the same time, it's like during April and May, there's a lot of thermals.
Yes.
So that's so I'm very happy that I have PLs in May. That my almost whole month of May is free. I have like probably 4 days of working. That's it. The rest of my whole, because I didn't take any PLs last year, so I had accumulated PLs. So almost whole month is off. That's what it is. and then in the month of June, then the monsoon starts. Then that's a different story. This will be the first monsoon in as a commercial airline pilot. That's what it's gonna be. All right, so Chintan, when you let's have a little bit detailed conversation on it.
Okay.
When you decided to become a pilot, you had certain expectations that this is how it is gonna be. Even I had, everyone does. And now you are one. So was the expectation same as what reality is right now?
I mean, the expectation, kind of, not, I would say not 100%. Because I thought, let's say when we go for flying, right? So what I have personally experienced is I thought it would be a very chill job. I won't be tired flying. So when I was thinking about becoming a pilot, I would okay, that's such a cool job. Okay, what I have to do? I have to just go to the aircraft, sit in that comfortable chair in the cockpit with the air conditions on. So why will I be tired, right? I just go there, fly whatever time it is, let's say 6 hours or 7 hours, and then I'm sitting, I'm not doing any work. So why will I be tired? So I will do the work. After the work, I'll travel if I'm at a new city or something. If I'm not, I'll come home, I'll do whatever other work I want to do. But that is the expectation which is not met, because I personally haven't been traveling under the pressurization cabin, right? So that was something which I wasn't aware about. Okay, that you do get tired when you fly under a pressurized cabin, and that was the expectation which wasn't met. Apart from that, I think pretty much it's decent. You get to visit a lot of places. The perks are good. The way the company takes care of you is good. But sometimes, let's say, the patterns are, I would say, a bit hectic, I would say. But then, it's a part of the life. You have to sign up. So again, now let's say if you come, the first one is clear. I won't feel tired. That was the first thing which I think is not matching, and that wasn't a real expectation as well. So I'm okay with it. Now the second one is about flying at night. Okay, which is called the red-eye flight, which starts at 12 a.m. and which falls between 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. So I thought, let's say if we are going for an outing with friends and family, we easily end staying up until 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Okay, and then we go to sleep at around 2:30, 3 a.m. usually on the weekends. So I was like, okay, anyways, I'm doing this. I'll go in the flight as well. So there won't be much of a difference. But enjoying, okay, has no... but enjoying something, let's say after 12, let's say if you're watching a movie, if you're going out with friends, you're just having chit chat, banter, or you're engaging in some activity, that is completely different than flying an aircraft during a red-eye flight. Okay, you have to be more alert during that time.
There is a lot of cognitive involvement in flying.
Yes.
A lot of cognitive involvement.
Yes. So that thing I wasn't aware about. I thought, okay, this is something which I'm doing, so I'll be easily able to do it. But now, as and when with experience, you get to know how you have to set up your body for a red-eye flight. So you sleep mostly during the day so that you are fresh or you are well rested for a red-eye flight. Because when you go for outing with your friends, you don't sleep during the day. You just stretch it up, right? But for a red-eye flight, that is not the case. Okay. So that is the expectation which I think is kind of this thing. But apart from that, let's say if we speak about salaries, let's say during our time, let's say the cost which we have paid for our training, as we have done during the COVID. So because of that, it will take maybe 2 to 3 years additional to repay the amount if we calculate it. Okay, and that is due to a global event. So I don't blame anyone for it.
Right.
It is what it is, and aviation industry is the industry which gets affected by any global event. Let's say now if we see the India-Pakistan border issue, so
Right.
because of that also, as the Pakistan airspace is closed, now aircraft can't fly over that airspace. So that is costing to the airline a lot. And because of that, I don't know like how it affects us, but
Right.
one or the other way it will affect everyone who's working for the airline and affects airline revenue as well. Yeah, so that's another thing. So now what I think is every pilot's journey is different. Okay, everyone's situation is different. How they start, how they pay their loan, like how much percent of loan has a pilot taken, and when does he or she plans to repay it. So that whole journey for everyone is different. Everyone or every pilot has their own share of struggles to reach the airline cockpit.
Right.
Okay, and
Absolutely. Each and
Yes,
everyone. Yeah,
yes.
no doubt.
and then once they are in the airline cockpit, some of the expectation might be met, some of them might not be. But I'm just grateful for the airline cockpit where I'm doing my job, which
Yeah.
I dreamt as a child.
Right.
So I'm happy with it.
Right.
Okay, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've just started. It's been almost a year.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying it. So my almost I would say expectations are met. Few of them are not met, but that's completely okay.
Absolutely.
Everything has its own pros and cons. There's no job in the world that only has pros.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have pros, you have cons, and you have to deal with the cons. But I think this job is one of the best jobs, I would say, because I never felt that I'm going to work or I'm like, oh shit, I have to go here. Sometimes, let's say, red eye flight, I feel bad. That's completely all, being
Yeah.
honest. Like when the alarm rings at 3 a.m. in the morning, you think, okay, I need some time to sleep, but then you have to wake up and go.
Yeah, until getting out of the bed, there is that.
But once
feeling.
you get
Once
out of
get
bed
out,
in the
then-
cab, then you are in your mode. Yeah.
Then
That
you
initial
start to-
2 minutes to
Yeah.
start, as everyone says, the start is the most difficult thing. Okay, once you just start, then you are okay.
Yeah. I'm about to start reading that book by Mel Robbins, 5-second rule. Let's see how it is. I don't know. I'm not making any recommendations. I just beginning to start that.
Okay, nice.
So that exactly is about this. The
Yeah.
first 2 minutes that you mentioned, it's like the first 5 seconds. Like in that time, we tend to negotiate with ourselves.
Yes, I've read
Like-
that as well. Like, let's say if you are planning to go to the gym,
Yeah.
you don't intend to go to gym, but just wear the shoes and sit.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just had that kind of
yeah.
conversation
right before this podcast.
We cannot disclose what it was. We are sorry. We'd love to, but we cannot. Yeah, but we did it anyway.
Yeah.
So
It's going pretty good. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. So, yep. Like you said, the point before making a decision to become a pilot, we set the expectations of life as a pilot to
Mhm.
be in a certain way. And those expectations are made up when we haven't even lived one single day as an airline pilot. So obviously the accuracy of those expectations is less likely to meet the reality
Mhm.
when you really start living as an airline pilot. At the same time, even I feel that what we are living, yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Mhm.
Absolutely. If the hours get beyond 70, 80, then it does become a little bit, yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, to be honest, we have lived through stressful situations in our lives.
Mhm.
at work before this, and I've never had a gray hair. Now I've started to have gray hair, dude. Well, it can either be age but the timing is very different. It's like right now. So I've started few gray hair in my beard and in hair. It's yeah, it is the pressurization cycles, and also it is like 70 hours. Okay, 70 hours is not really working 70 hours. The working 70 hours would be actual work is of 150 hours roughly. Whatever that the
Into
number
2,
into
2.5,
2 to 2.5. That is the number of hours. And because those hours are not at a routine time, its effect is a little bit more. That said, even if we are doing like 80 hours, actual working days in a month won't be more than, like, forget about night and day and all of those things, but actual working days won't be more than 18, 19 days.
Yes.
Yeah, because if you have worked the night and you land at 7 in the morning, then that day you're not gonna fly. You'll be probably flying next day, right? So that is how it is. Yep.
What about you? What do you think? Did your expectation meet after working as an airline pilot?
No and yes. And it's not a complaint.
Definitely.
Because those expectations for me were made when I didn't have the exact experience of living as a pilot. Yeah, I was seeing Neha, and that expectation was an imagination. But what we are doing right now is the reality. So I don't even, to be honest, expect it to exactly match, because see, it's like if we ask any pilot, okay, aspiring pilot who has just finished his or her 12th, and ask that person that why you wanna become a pilot, 70% plus we get one answer, and that is passion. Okay, but how do we know if it is our passion if we have never done it? Like, if you have never ridden a bicycle, how would you say that I like riding a bicycle? It's like I'm passionate about riding bicycle, but I've never ridden it. So it exists only in imagination when one makes that decision. But then we make that decision, we stick through it, and eventually it becomes a reality. And then we realize, okay, this is a reality. And I like to embrace it the way that is, and I enjoy it.
So at this point, what I feel is, as we have, like, let's say over the gram, like by different books, I've always read this quote, like, enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Okay. But when I started my pilot career, I used to look, okay, I'm flying the Cessna. No, I want to fly the 320. I used to look outside. So I was not, like, I would say, fully into the moment of enjoying the Cessnas and stuff. And then once I'm into A320, now I look up to the bigger aircraft, right? So lately I have realized that enjoying the journey is the most beautiful thing. Like, you are in an A320, okay? You just fly it, and when the right time comes, you will be upgraded to a bigger aircraft. You don't have to stress over it so hard that, okay, let's say I have just 1,000 hours, okay, I need another 1,500 hours to get an ATPL, then I have to go for command. Okay, I don't have to think about all this thing. I have to just enjoy the journey. It will happen by its own, I would say.
Absolutely.
because so now I didn't even think about giving ATPL exams. But last time I got a notification. Okay, forms open. I just filled up that form. I just studied. I cleared one exam without even knowing. Okay, without even stressing out. Okay, I have an exam. I have an exam.
Right.
So that's how the thing should be, like smooth.
Absolutely. It's like today is gonna be tomorrow's good old days,
Yeah.
right? Today, what we call as good old days, like say we would remember Sanford, and
Yeah.
that would put a smile on our face. So, the same way, if we are working well on our future and we prioritize our future today, then this exact moment will tomorrow be looked at as the good old days. That how cute, we used to do this, then we used to do that, and that was so nice, and then we were learning this, and then we were learning. But in that moment, a few times it can get difficult.
Yes, definitely. It will get difficult.
Yeah. Now, about enjoy the journey part, right? We do have our sight set on our future. We're talking purely for ourselves. Huh? This is no advice or anything. We're just talking about ourselves. So, at the same time, we start with something. We initially really suck at it. Okay. No first landing is the best landing, right? Eventually it gets good. Eventually it, like, we initially suck at it a lot, then we suck a little lesser, and then we suck so little that we actually become good at it. Right?
Yeah.
So, and when we do become good at it, at that time we do feel that, okay, this is joyful.
Yes.
This is fun. This is nice. But until that day, it is not nice. It is.
Yes. It is challenging.
It is challenging. It is a lot of learning, and yeah, that's what it is.
It's same as the private pilot license. That is the most difficult phase of a pilot's career.
Yeah.
Initially, when you go into the cockpit for the first time, and you are loaded with work, you have to do the initial checklist, walk around, get the clearance, tax instructions, and start the engines, do the checks and everything. So that used to feel like a task.
Yeah.
Okay. But once you are done with PPL, instrument, 100 hours of flying, that would take less than 5 minutes. Yeah. Okay. So that is what time will give you.
And then that becomes joyous.
Yes. Then it's very, like, it's fun for us. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. Like the solo flights. That was joyful because we learned how to do it. We knew how to do it. And yeah. And then there comes a day when we enter into the 320 simulator for the first time in life. Now
we are tensed. Oh, how many buttons are there?
Now this is a lot. And those big books and everything, and the FCOM and the FCTM and all around it, right? So it's one step at a time, and yeah.
Just focus on the next step. Let's say if you're starting your career, focus on DGCA exams to start with. Once you're done with DGCA, then RTR. Once you're done with RTR, then flight training. Then you go for your airline interview prep. Then you go for your type rating, whatever it is. One step at a time makes it a lot easier and less hectic.
True. One good part, I have PLs in May, so I don't have to experience a lot of thermals, pre-monsoon thermals in the month of May. I did in the month of April. But month of May is I'm on off. So
nice.
That's pretty cool.
So what, let's say if someone is starting now, as we both are into aviation for quite a while now. So if someone is starting their pilot career, what realistic expectations would you think would be, like, if you want to give a rough idea about the realistic expectation, what would it be?
it is a long, long, long journey, and any expectation can become real. Like all the dreams can become real, but those do require their time and efforts. And if we make the next step to be the goal while keeping the final goal inside where we want to go, that helps. Like one step at a time, whatever that DGCA exams, let's get through that. Let's make that primary priority. Okay, that's done. Now next, if we look at the list of things that are to be done, it's like totally overwhelming. But if someone has set expectations that there is not gonna be a lot of study or something like that, no, then there will be a vast deviation between the reality and expectations.
Definitely.
None of us, you and I, we didn't have that kind of expectations. We knew that whenever we had to study, we did study. That studying was not the problem that we had ever actually. So just the next step, and expectations would be, if the expectation is like I'm gonna be the next Tom Cruise flying the F-16s or okay, no, it's less like that, but it's fun in a different way.
This is all about this is all about like procedure, safety, and all of those things. The things which you watch in movies, there's no way close to reality. That is just a movie which is made for entertainment. But in real life, that doesn't happen. Okay. And let's say as we are talking about, let's say, pilots and stuff, and there's some uncertainty in the aviation industry as well due to global event.
Yeah.
How important do you think that a pilot should have a second stream of income?
Yeah, I mean,
or let's say
in early career, it is difficult to have second stream of income. You and I, we worked before into something else, so, and we started pretty late. Okay, so that's a different story. But at the same time, if someone starting at 18, at least until the age of 30, like the whole thing, CPL and FOs and SFO captain, then if the person allocates money wisely and does not choose to live beyond the means, then the investments can create good second stream of income. At the same time, when someone just starts, the whole focus has to be this.
Definitely.
Whole focus has to be this. There's so much to learn. So much to learn that in that period, if the person tries to prioritize something else, then I think that could affect the pilot career.
Definitely, I agree with you. And what I think is, once you know the aircraft in and out, once you are captain, then that's the time to diversify the investment or whatever savings you have.
Absolutely.
Until that, I would say just 4 years, enjoy flying, learn the aircraft for 5 years, and then you look towards the second stream of income. So let's say once we become captains and stuff, what are the ways, like, do you think would be most appropriate for pilots, or what are different streams to which pilot can generate a secondary income, keeping that they have to work at a job as well? I mean, we are going into finance because, and this is not an advice, we are just discussing options for pilots.
Makes sense. So like we live in Mumbai requires very high ticket. So I used to be in real estate appraisals back in time before. So yeah, real estate investments are a pretty good and stable source of income.
Mm-hmm.
If a pilot decides to allocate certain amount of money towards real estate in Mumbai, even with pilot salary, it is difficult,
Mm-hmm.
but in other cities it is possible. And be certain about which areas are developing and which areas are gonna have good footfall, and then allocate certain amount of money towards that, and then eventually start income from that.
Mm-hmm.
Probably this is not a financial advice, guys. This is
This is just a
yeah,
discussion.
and at least by the age of 40, 45, if the person has a good portfolio of properties. Because here's the thing, like, a person can feel satisfied by two things: either lowering expectations or increasing income.
Hmm.
Okay, even if I have, like, even if someone has an income of 10 crores per annum in like personal income, but that person is spending 2 crores in a month, is not never gonna have enough, right?
Got
So
it.
so it's expectations and yeah, it's like earn rate versus burn rate, right? So yeah, I mean, pilots earn pretty well, but
Mhm.
then if one starts to burn pretty fast, then yeah, if we adjust the lifestyle to 100% of our income, then we'd be left with literally nothing when we retire, and then figure out from there, which is a very bad place to be in.
Yes.
So yeah, it's like living within the means is definitely required, no matter, unless you are a billionaire, guys. So if you then that's a different story altogether. Yeah.
Yes, and what I also feel that as we have been in this industry, most of our friends are engineers and stuff. So the initial years when until you become a captain,
Yeah.
what I feel is it's good to have CA as your friend, so that you get some tax saving advice.
Yeah.
So if you can save taxes by doing certain amount of investments, let's say in PPF and NPS and all of those things, then you do earn that money, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. We have a friend, I don't know, like
Ankit.
whenever, yeah.
Ankit.
So whenever he has
Yeah.
layover, we'll ask him to
Yeah.
come over on this podcast
Yeah.
and see what advice he
True.
has
True.
for pilots to
Yeah.
save taxes.
So this guy did CA, and then he worked for KPMG, and then he decided to become a pilot. Now he is a flying first officer. So that's what it is. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, that's about the finance. Now, when we speak about health for pilots,
Yeah.
I've heard that there are numerous posts on the gram that we are exposed to radiation for most of the times, and then there are sun rays, UV rays, which are harming, and all of those things. So, as a pilot, how do you take care of your health?
I don't. Guys, I'm not the right person for health advice. I drink a lot of Red Bull, okay? I don't believe that Red Bull is bad for health, but it is subject to interpretation, okay? Because I've been drinking Red Bull for last 12 years. I'm still alive. And okay, knock on the wood. But yeah, I mean, I would really need to start doing something about health real soon. I
Yeah.
used to play squash I've played squash for a good part of my teenage, almost all of my teenage I have played squash. But then after starting with college and everything, and then the work and it just
Mhm.
dropped off. And then, yeah, I used to gym, but last 5 years I haven't done anything with respect to health. So I may be talking about many things about decision making and this and that and all of those things. Yes, you may consider the information coming from my mouth as valid, but if I say anything about health, do not take it seriously because I'm not the person to say anything about health, to be honest. you
Then
you talk about
let's
this.
after we complete this podcast, let's go to a gym.
I'd rather play badminton or squash, something like that. Yeah, I'm the last person to take health advice from. Like, yeah, few things. I maintain a good diet. Like I eat once in a day, and I don't drink alcohol. And I used to. I don't drink anymore. And yeah, that's about my health regime. Yeah.
Nice. But that does take care of everything. I think 1 meal a day. So that's more than like an intermittent fast.
It gives okay medical.
Yeah.
That's what I know.
Yeah.
But with respect to like skeletal muscles and the like three things about muscles: flexibility, strength, and endurance. I don't think many of my muscles have any three of those as much as like or barely required, kind of.
Don't worry, we'll build it.
Yeah, I need a probably workout straight up. It's like this. Like, we don't just become good pilots and then stop becoming good pilots. It's like it's a continuum. It's not a binary whether someone is a bad pilot or a good. No, you be a good pilot one day, you have to be good pilot every
day.
single day. Like, I'm married, so you don't just become a good husband and then that's it. No, you've gotta show up and be a good husband every single day, right? It's like that. So yeah, like, eat food, okay, eat good food. It's not like we become healthy and then that's it. We have to continuously continue to become continue to stay healthy. So these are certain continuums, right? Like, that's what I'd call it as. So health is a continuum. Yeah. So it's like we cannot eat all the food that we need for rest of our lives in one meal. We have to continue doing it. So yeah, the same goes for pilot career. Yeah, it's like, yeah, we did good yesterday, has likeliness that we'll do good tomorrow, but we have to. There's no guarantee.
Definitely.
Yeah, you were saying something.
I think for me it's simple. I just go to gym 3 days a week.
Yeah, take health advice from him.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I just follow basic things like going to gym 3 days a week, and then remaining days maybe play a sport, cricket, badminton, or just go for a walk. So I'm not into like bodybuilding, but I just maintain an athletic physique, just able to move here and then quickly. And diet wise, trying to hit, as I told you, as we're discussing, trying to hit the protein goal of let's say how much we discussed, 180 grams.
Yeah.
And I'm just doing 100 grams.
It's like the pounds of weight that we have.
Into 1 gram.
Because I'm a non-vegetarian, usually I'm north of 80.
Okay.
North of. Because the diet is structured that way. Okay. But in veg it is really difficult. It's like you have to eat a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if I hit like 100 grams of protein a day, I'm eating the whole day, and that's my off day.
Right.
100%. If I'm going on flight, what I do is I don't know this if it's here or something. In Bangalore, there's something called as high protein bread. So one slice of bread is around 6 grams of protein.
Oh, cool.
So 4 breads
Uh-huh.
with peanut butter, and that's my meal for the flight.
Right.
I don't have the food which is in the flight.
Uh-huh.
And then there's oats and milk which I make in the flight.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my 2 meals. If I have 4 sectors, if I have 2 sectors, that's the peanut butter and bread.
Yeah.
So that's the meal I have. It took me a while to figure out this meal
Mm-hmm.
because I was just constantly figuring out like what should I have. Earlier I used to not eat anything in the flight,
Yeah.
but then I was like I have to eat anything. It can't be like this. So I started with this. Now it's working out well, and now everything is like perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I just eat 5 meals a day, and like you, just one.
Yeah, I eat only one meal, but it's a big meal. Like, I mean, when I eat like I eat a lot. So yeah, that's how it works for me. At the same time, I try to keep it like as much as possible, like one meal a day in a week. So more often than not, I would do one meal in a day for 5 days in a week. There are 1 to 2 days in a week where I'd have more than one meal. So yeah, that's what it is.
And there's a rule. I don't know, for some reason I was like bored of eating desserts and stuff. Or if I eat, it's like like a meal of dessert. So whenever I go out, like mostly on layovers, when we go for buffet, it's like you have a whole platter of desserts in front of you. So what I have made a rule for myself is if the dessert is something new, which I haven't tried, then only I go for the dessert.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say gulab jamun. I have had the gulab jamun in the past, so I won't go to the dessert section to have gulab jamun. So unless there's some new variety of sweets which I haven't tried, just go for it.
Right.
Yeah. It makes life simple.
Yeah. True. Like, sugar is such a thing that I think if you eat it for couple of days, 2-3 days back to back, then on 4th day you will feel like, yes, I need sugar now. Like after the meal doesn't feel like, okay, it's good enough unless you finish it with like sugar. So but if I don't like it, I'll at least speak for myself. If I haven't been eating sugar, then it is like,
yes, now it's been, this month is very low on sugar, I would say.
Okay.
Like I haven't
Right.
had anything, I guess. It's
Now,
going good.
Last 2 weeks I've been eating a lot of sugar.
Okay. Nice.
You want some?
That's zero sugar, but it's too sweet.
Yeah, it's stevia. It's pretty cool though. Like it's evening, so I'm not drinking Red Bull right now because then I won't be able to sleep. So want some?
Nothing. I'm
You
good.
sure?
Yeah.
This is what? Paperboard. Paperboard, zero sugar.
Now, another question, like, I don't know, like most of the students, they asked, I don't know, there's some myth or something that pilots don't have family life. They stay away from family and all of those things. And they want base as their hometown. Let's say if someone is from Aurangabad, they want base as Aurangabad. So is that possible or no? That are the questions that students ask.
Right. Majority of metro cities, I think it is possible. Like I am Bombay based, you will be here in June, right? Like, yeah. So majority of metro cities, I think it is possible, but tier 2 and tier 3 cities, it may not be possible, I think. So at least until Indian aviation grows big enough for airlines to make those tier 2 cities as small bases as well. which may be possible eventually. Maybe we don't know. But at least for another 5 to 7 years, I don't think that is gonna be the case.
Depends on the, I would say, the development of the city and how much is the demand
Yeah.
and how much parking space do they get.
Right. Absolutely. Because it's usually like parkings are cheaper in smaller airports. I'm planning to go on a road trip with the wife.
Nice.
And I'm gonna do a road trip, not take a flight. The flight tickets are free for us because we do that every day. So this is gonna be a change.
Nice. But let's say even if I'm in Bangalore, I don't feel that I'm that away because let's say every month or every 2 weeks I'm in Mumbai. Either I have a layover or if I have, let's say, 2 days off continuously, I'm in Mumbai.
Right.
Because it hardly take like 2 hours and I don't have to pay. So that's
True.
like literally like if you go from, let's say, Malad to, let's say, Churchgate, you 1.5 hour and Bangalore flight is almost the same, 1 hour 40 minutes.
True.
At 2 hours of traveling.
True.
So,
But don't you think that before we became airline pilots, traveling in the back as a passenger was easier than it is now?
yes, definitely. Now I can't travel on
now
a
it is
passenger
like
seat.
put me in a cockpit, I'll operate this flight
Yes,
rather than sitting in the back.
yes.
Like it's like it used to be
So
easier easier back in time.
Yes, and once you're a pilot, your life as a passenger or your view as a passenger would be completely different.
Yeah.
Earlier you'd look out of the window, see the clouds and everything, but now you look out of the window and say, oh, the wing walkers are here, okay, it's time for pushback. And then you hear the hydraulic sound, okay, and all of those things. And then you see that the air from the AC vents is gone, so I think engine 1 is about to start and all of those things. So and with the announcement you come to know where are we, and you look out, you see the taxiway and stuff. So that is what is the difference in perspective as a passenger before and after you do your pilot training. And now, as you rightly said, it's very difficult to sit in that passenger cockpit and go in the passenger seat and go.
It's like, get me there already. Or else at least put me in the cockpit. It has, at least for me, like you said, like for both of us, it has become a little bit more difficult to travel as a passenger than that's what it is. What else?
That's it. And what I would say is this is a normal conversation. I mean, we haven't gone into a lot of technical details. We have kept it as simple as possible so that all of the aspiring pilots would understand how the life of a pilot is and what you are signing up for. But apart from this, if you have any questions, like let's say based on our personal life, or let's say if you want any suggestion depending upon your situation, will it be a good thing for you or no? If you want to ask that, you can let us know in the comment section and we'll reach out to you. Or if you want something which is kind of private and you don't want to share it in the comments, you can always reach out to us on our Instagram and we'll give you our honest opinion about it, and then you can make a decision for yourself.
At one point, it's like, from all that we discussed, it's a long journey, multiple steps, multiple exams, multiple flight checks, and multiple check rides, and so sims and all of this. It's a lot. It is a lot. Okay. Focus on next step. And one thing, whichever step that you are into, every next day is easier than the prior one. Because the task becomes easier, because you become more competent.
You become better with each passing day.
Each passing day. Like if we consider day 1 in a flight school versus day 100 in a flight school, the student is much more competent on day 100. So
definitely
the challenges are the same. The tasks demand the same. but you become more competent. It doesn't get easier. It gets easier for you. So if today is the day that you feel is hard, keep at it. It'll be something that will get easier with time. As long as you're working on it. Like at least that is what has worked for us. That is what we have been doing.
And the journey will teach you to have a lot of patience.
Yeah.
That is the most important thing. Like, you will have patience by the end of your journey. Like, you'll be a very patient person.
Yeah. And patience is not like just sitting idle and waiting. Patience is doing everything that you can in order to achieve the goal that, like, I do everything that I can in order to achieve the goal that I have. At the same time, I would manage the expectation of time for it to become reality.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I would call as patience. Because see, if I just lay on the bed and keep on watching Netflix and call that I'm being patient, then that is not something. But yeah, if say hypothetically someone has finished the CPL and waiting for airlines to come up with a vacancy, that person can do both the things, right? Like either wait for the airlines to come up with the vacancy, watch Netflix, chill, okay, or be on the top of the game and just wait until and continue doing so until the airlines come up, right? So yeah, that's 2 cents from us. Yep. Anything else? I think that's it.
That's it. Thank you for watching this podcast until now. If you enjoyed this podcast, let us know in the comment section. And if you want more like raw podcasts, raw conversations between pilots, let us know. We'll be happy to do that for you monthly, one episode.
Yeah, absolutely. Why didn't Capt.Neha join us? Because she has gone for her IRPPC, which is every 6 months pilots have to do it. And this is the first time that she has left Shivansh with us, and and obviously Shivansh's father, Capt.Neha's husband. And yeah, she is out for her training. So now she'll be starting to fly again as a mother. And let's see. So that's why she didn't join us. But in the next podcast, she definitely will. So thank you for listening to us. And I hope it entertained you for the least. This was not much of a value episode. This was more of
insightful.
It was just a discussion. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one, guys. Thank you.
Bye. Have a good one.